One of the biggest talking points coming out of the podcast, and we talked about this over text a couple hours ago, was the Chyna WWE Hall of Fame incident and whatever else, why she already isn't in. I personally think that she is deserving, like Triple H said, but I do agree with the sentiment that because of what she has done in the past with her porn career and everything else, that she might not ever be in the WWE Hall of Fame, or at least anytime soon. And Chyna went on to Twitter shortly thereafter, responding that she would love to go into the Hall of Fame, and she has no issues with WWE. She tried to contact them. They haven't responded back, but she also put a video out on YouTube back in like late 2014, a couple months ago, bashing Stephanie McMahon, so there's kind of some hard feelings there probably. But what were your thoughts on the whole Chyna conversation last night in the podcast?
When first I started talking about Chyna, I forgot all about that. She had that porn career, but I think Triple H obviously made like the thing like, I want my kid like type in Chyna, and then comes up and that she was pornography and stuff like that. But I think they kind of like, obviously that's obviously not, it's not against the law, obviously, but I think obviously it's a choice that she made, and obviously it's not looked upon by the fans, but they're letting people in the Hall of Fame that have career criminal records being arrested and stuff like that. I don't know how they can really void her out of being in it just because she did porn. I think she should be in the Hall of Fame. She's one of the breakout divas in the early, late 90s, I think. Obviously, her choice wasn't the greatest, but there's other people like that have been like Kevin Nash. Not Kevin Nash. Scott Hall is the biggest drug addict in WWE history, and people take Scott Hall and see that he's a meth addict or whatever the hell drug he was ever on, cocaine, and that he's killed a guy. Like, you can't really you can't really spread it out. It's like kind of like weigh your options. I don't think her choice is worse than him getting arrested and being a drug addict or all his baggage that he has, and there's probably plenty of other guys that have other baggage in the Hall of Fame. I think they need to just get over it and just put her in.
Do you think it's a case that if they wait long enough that she'll be eligible to go into the Hall of Fame, or do you think it's like a Benoit situation that she will probably never go in?
I think they'll wait a little bit. I don't think she should even compare close to the Benoit situation. Obviously, great wrestler, wrestling killed his family. I think that's totally different. I think her decision she made was 10 times less than what he did. I think she definitely should be in. I think they need to just relax, look at the situation, and just let her go off there.
I think in due time, especially given how close she was to Triple H and the rest of D-Generation X years ago, and an integral part of history and whatever else, I do think that she will be in over time, especially if Triple H is in charge. I mean, I don't know if it's a Vinnie Mac issue, like a Vince McMahon issue or whatever else. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like we were talking about, like you mentioned, why they didn't mention Rick Rude. Like that would have been cool if they talked about that. And Rick Rude is a part of D-Generation X back in the day. Not one of the most prominent members, but he was a part of the group, and he had an iconic career that belongs in the Hall of Fame. But I think guys like Luger and Rick Rude, because they left the company in the fashion they did for WCW and never came back, I think because they quote-unquote betrayed Vince McMahon when they jumped ship in the Monday Night Wars, maybe that's why they never really aren't in the Hall of Fame right now. Do you think that these people like Rude, maybe even a Chyna, that's kind of stretching it, a Rick Rude, a Lex Luger, a Chyna, might be in the Hall of Fame when Triple H eventually takes over?
I think they should be in the Hall of Fame. I think Rick Rude and Lex Luger should have already been in the Hall of Fame. They both had hell of careers, and they did much for both companies. It's not just the WWE. There are plenty of guys that never even wrestled the WWE in the Hall of Fame, but I think Vince is still sour over the fact that they left. But it is what it is, and I think once Triple H gets control of the company, those guys will go in. He was Taz DX, stuff like that. So I think Triple H, like you said, he even said last night that he's not there to burn bridges with people and stuff like that. He's not there with grudges. He's just let people in, and he's not at all about like the grudges and all this stuff against people from their past. So